I'm Natalia Lobach, and this is Change Course. Show me the money. According to the global consulting firm McKinsey, 70% of transformations fail. Okay, this is where I start to get really annoyed. So I hear this statistic a lot. I hear it regurgitated by other change leaders, change influencers. I've seen multiple posts on social media talking about, well, everyone knows that 70% of transformations fail, like it's a fact, treating this statistic like it's a fact. And I'm like, okay, then I must be really good because my transformations don't fail. When I'm in charge of a transformation, let me tell you, it goes well. We get success. And by the way, what we look like at the end of the transformation is like completely different from what we looked like at the beginning. We meet the ROI targets. We're usually at the point at the end of the transformation looking at continuous improvement. So I'm like, oh man, I must be a rock star. I'm saying that a little bit tongue in cheek because every other change leader that I've talked to in the business is like, well, there's no way that that could possibly be true. It just doesn't seem right. So I put on my research hat and I did some digging. Now, to give you a little bit of background, I used to work in academic research back at the beginning of my career. So let me tell you, if I'm going to dig for something, I am going to find it. And let me tell you that I could not find proof of this statistic anywhere. I couldn't find it. And you know what? I invite you to try. Please take a look. But here's the thing. You've got to go beyond the first level. You've got to go beyond what things are shown at surface, and you've got to dig deeper. You've got to go into the citations part of academic papers and look them up and then dig even deeper and look at another citation and just keep on digging and digging and digging and digging until you find what it is that you're looking for. And I feel like there's a lack of this skill, or I'm not really sure, just people tend to take things at surface. So when I started searching on this, of course, like a bunch of McKinsey stuff popped up and a bunch of stuff from other people. But when I started looking into the research itself, or what was, the actual basis of this claim, I couldn't find anything. What I found was a circle. I found one place attributing the statistic to another link, to then another link, and then I would find myself back at the beginning of the circle again. I heard on various videos McKinsey people talking about academic research. The academic research is very clear. The academic research says, but I could find no reference to any of that academic research. And you'd think that if a big global consulting firm was going to make a claim as audacious as that they would back themselves up. But no, they don't. And also, people blindly follow and accept it. And so I challenge you, dear listener, anytime that you're confronted with something that just seems completely audacious, think about maybe why that could be being said or where it's coming from. Obviously, the purpose of this claim is to drive business to McKinsey's global transformation practice. They run a business helping businesses avoid failure and implement stuff, right? I mean, that's what they do. I worked in consulting as well. I mean, I know the game. But when an organization or a group of people make that kind of a claim and it's bogus, then you, as somebody in this industry and somebody in this practice, can't also be making that claim. It's terrible. Don't do it. If you're going to make a claim about something, make sure that you know your source. Be able to quote the source. And it's fine. Research can change. It evolves. That's part of the process. I mean, as we go forward and we learn new things, research evolves, our knowledge expands, things change. And that's great. That's awesome. We want that. But I cannot believe that this statistic has been, the first reference I found for it was in 2019. And I cannot believe that this statistic has been regurgitated so many times by so many different people within that consulting firm that now people outside just take it as fact. And what I'm saying to you is, do not just accept things as pure fact. You've got to be able, if somebody is going to say this is a fact, they'd better be able to substantiate it. I want to see the research. Show me the money. I am tired of hearing this statistic. And anytime somebody quotes it, I am going to be using my exemplary academic research skills to debunk it, because I think that it's lazy. I think it's lazy to say that this is true without really knowing if this is actually true. And honestly, if the only thing that McKinsey is going to be quoting as their research is their global CEO survey, which, by the way, when you are a consulting firm and you're doing a global CEO survey, it's all of your past clients. So you're not even really getting a representative sample. You're not doing good research. You're basically doing marketing research, which has its purpose. And there's nothing wrong with marketing research, but you cannot claim that it's academic research if what you've based it on is a marketing survey for your own firm. Like, give me a break. Anyway, you can probably hear in my voice that I'm really frustrated and annoyed about this. I just can't believe how many people have just swallowed this as truth. I cannot believe it. Because, come on, if it were true, I would have no business, by the way, because if 70% of all transformations fail, that means that 70% of the projects that I work on would be failures, and none of them are. So I don't quite understand that. And honestly, for the other people that work in this field, the people that I talk to on a regular basis who are change leaders, change managers, like people like me, don't have this experience either. So I think what I'm going to take from this is, I mean, tongue in cheek, maybe I am better than McKinsey. If they claim that 70% of all transformations fail, I mean, that's on them. Then they're not doing a very good job. Sucks for them. That's too bad. But at the same time, just remember that things like this, big audacious claims like 70% of transformations fail, don't be part of this failure statistic. It's also a fear tactic. It's a fear tactic to drive business to them. And the more they say it, the more people are like, oh, I don't want to be a failure. Oh my gosh, like, I'm going to hire you. That's all part of the game, by the way. So, like, don't believe it. And I am personally so annoyed with this. And I would love to hear from you. I mean, when was the first time you heard this claim, quote unquote, statistic? Because it's not really a statistic. It's based on absolutely nothing. So when was the first time you heard it, and what was your response and reaction to it? I'd love to hear what you have to say. So drop me a message on Spotify for podcasters, or via any of the social media channels that we inhabit. I'd love to hear from you, and go forth and conquer. And I encourage you, like, when you hear this kind of bogus stuff, or it sounds like it could be crazy, ask. It's like, show me the money, show me your source. I want to see where you're making this claim from, because I cannot find the research that substantiates this anywhere. If you can, I'd love to see it. Thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard, I invite you to like, share, rate, and subscribe, because it helps others find us. Change Course is brought to you by Chart House Advisory Services and ConnectedChange.com. Our music is Levity by Emily Clausen. Show notes have moved. We're now at ConnectedChange.com. So visit us there under the Change Course podcast page, and you'll find a list of all the resources that I've mentioned here today. While you're visiting us, sign up for the Change Navigator newsletter. You'll keep on top of all things change, and every month we are sharing exclusive content and resources only with our subscribers. So don't miss out. Sign up at ConnectedChange.com. Thank you for listening, and remember, it's never too late to change course.